Denmark, a small yet profoundly influential nation nestled in northern Europe, is a country that has often been described as a land of fairy tales, modern innovation, and timeless beauty, though its geographical footprint is modest compared to global giants. Denmark's history, cultural depth, and societal achievements have allowed it to leave an outsized mark on the world. From the Viking Age to becoming one of the most advanced welfare states today, Denmark's journey is both fascinating and layered, weaving together stories of conquest, resilience, creativity, and harmony with nature. To understand Denmark is to understand not only its past of explorers, kings, and sea warriors, but also its present as a nation admired for its design, architecture, quality of life, and pioneering spirit. The story of Denmark begins with the Vikings, whose ferocity, skill, and sense of adventure shaped much of Europe between the 8th and 11th centuries. These Norse seafarers launched expeditions across the seas, raiding, trading, and settling in lands as far as England, Ireland, Iceland, and even parts of North America. Danish Vikings, in particular, left a profound legacy in the British Isles, establishing the Danehola, an area where Norse law and customs held sway. Figures such as King Harald Bluetooth, who is credited with the Christianization of Denmark in the 10th century, stand tall in the annals of history. The Bluetooth wireless technology we use today is named in his honor, symbolizing communication and unification, much like the king who sought to unite his people. These centuries of Viking influence are not just preserved in history books, but are alive in Danish museums, runestones, and reconstructed longships that still sail the waters today. Visitors can step into the Viking Ship Museum in Roskilde to see the very vessels that once carried warriors across stormy seas. As Denmark transitioned into the medieval period, it evolved from a loose collection of tribes into a more structured kingdom. Christianity took root deeply, with cathedrals rising across the land, such as the Roskilde Cathedral, which remains the burial site of Danish monarchs. The Middle Ages were a time of both prosperity and turbulence, with Denmark often embroiled in conflicts with neighboring Sweden and Norway. The Kalmar Union, formed in 1397 under Queen Margaret I, temporarily united the three Scandinavian kingdoms under a single crown, with Denmark at its center. Though the union would eventually collapse, it highlighted Denmark's ambition to be a dominant northern power. Through these centuries, Copenhagen grew into a vital hub, eventually becoming the capital. Its strategic location along the Risund Strait made it a crucial center for trade and commerce, drawing merchants, scholars, and artisans from across Europe. The Renaissance and early modern period brought both grandeur and hardship to Denmark. Magnificent castles such as Kronborg immortalized as Elsinore in Shakespeare's Hamlet rose along its coasts, symbolizing wealth and power. Kings like Christian IV embarked on grand building projects, leaving behind architectural jewels and strengthening Denmark's maritime presence. Yet the nation was not immune to decline. Wars with Sweden cost Denmark vast territories, and by the Treaty of Roskilde in 1658, it lost large swaths of land. These losses, however, did not extinguish the Danish spirit. The 18th and 19th centuries became periods of transformation, as Denmark gradually shifted from a feudal monarchy to a constitutional one. The introduction of democracy in 1849 set the foundation for the modern nation, balancing tradition with progressive values. One of Denmark's most defining features in the modern era has been its embrace of welfare, equality, and social cohesion. The Danish welfare state, developed throughout the 20th century, has become a model admired globally. Free healthcare, free education, and comprehensive social services ensure that citizens are well cared for, from cradle to grave. This system is underpinned by a strong sense of trust between government and people, making Denmark one of the most content nations on earth. Indeed, surveys frequently rank Denmark among the happiest countries. With the concept of hygge, uniquely Danish idea of coziness, comfort, and well-being capturing the essence of its lifestyle. To sit with friends by candlelight during a winter evening, wrapped in warmth and sharing stories, is to experience hygge at its finest. Language, too, plays a central role in Danish identity. Danish, a North Germanic language, is spoken by around 6 million people, primarily within Denmark, though minority communities exist in Greenland and the Faroe Islands, both autonomous territories of the Danish realm. Danish is known for its unique pronunciation, often challenging for outsiders, with soft consonants and glottal stops. Yet, it is also a language of literature and philosophy. Hans Christian Andersen, Denmark's beloved storyteller, brought the Danish voice to the world with fairy tales such as The Little Mermaid, The Ugly Duckling, and The Emperor's New Clothes. Søren Kierkegaard, the father of existentialism, delved into the human condition with profound works that continue to influence philosophy and theology globally. Their legacies highlight Denmark's attribution not just in politics or war, but in the realm of ideas and imagination. Tourists to Denmark quickly discover that it is a land of attractions, both historic and modern. Copenhagen, the vibrant capital, is a city of contrasts. On one hand, it is home to royal palaces such as Amalienborg, where the Danish royal family resides, and Christiansborg Palace, the seat of government. On the other hand, it is also a hub of modern design, cycling culture, and culinary excellence. The city's Nyhavn harbor, with its colorful 17th-century houses and bustling restaurants, epitomizes charm. The Little Mermaid statue, inspired by Andersen's tale, has become an enduring symbol of Denmark, drawing millions of visitors. Yet Copenhagen is more than tourist sites. It is a city alive with innovation. The Resund Bridge, connecting Denmark to Sweden, showcases its engineering prowess, while the Tivoli Gardens amusement park, one of the oldest in the world, still enchants visitors with its magical blend of rides, gardens, and performances. Beyond Copenhagen, Denmark's landscapes offer a serene beauty that reflects the country's relationship with nature. Rolling farmland, sandy beaches, and rugged coastlines define its geography. The island of Bornholm, in the Baltic Sea, is known for its round churches and artistic community. The North Sea coastline, with its windswept dunes and fishing villages, evokes a timeless atmosphere. Denmark's commitment to sustainability shines through in its energy policies. Wind turbines dot the horizon, symbolizing its leadership in renewable energy. Today, nearly half of Denmark's electricity comes from wind power, with ambitions to go even further, making it a global pioneer in environmental stewardship. Greenland and the Faroe Islands, though far-flung, are integral to the Kingdom of Denmark. Greenland, the world's largest island, offers dramatic Arctic landscapes of glaciers, icebergs, and northern lights. Its Inuit heritage adds cultural richness to the Danish realm. The Faroe Islands, with their dramatic cliffs and grass-roofed houses, present another dimension of natural and cultural wonder. Though both territories enjoy autonomy, their ties to Denmark enrich the kingdom's diversity and global presence. Denmark is also a country of surprising facts that intrigue and delight visitors. For instance, it is one of the few nations where bicycles outnumber cars in its capital, with more than 60% of Copenhageners commuting by bike daily. Danish design is world-renowned with sleek, functional creations from brands like Bang and Olufsen and furniture classics by Arne Jacobsen shaping modern aesthetics. Denmark has even given the world Lego, the iconic toy bricks invented in Billund in 1932, which continued to inspire creativity in children and adults alike. The original Legoland theme park remains a beloved destination for families worldwide. Denmark also has a monarchy that is among the oldest in the world, dating back more than 1,000 years, with Queen Margrethe to having reigned since 1972 as a symbol of continuity and tradition. Food culture in Denmark offers another delightful exploration. Once known primarily for smørrebrød, the traditional open-faced sandwich, Danish cuisine has reinvented itself through the New Nordic movement. Restaurants like Noma in Copenhagen have revolutionized gastronomy, earning global acclaim with dishes that emphasize local, seasonal, and foraged ingredients. Yet the simple pleasures remain equally celebrated. A warm Danish pastry with coffee, a hearty plate of herring, or a hot dog from a street vendor embody the nation's culinary soul. Food festivals, markets, and farm-to-table initiatives reflect both tradition and innovation. Denmark's educational system is another pillar of its success, fostering creativity and independence from an early age. Children are encouraged to play, collaborate, and explore, shaping not only academic knowledge but also social skills. Universities, like the University of Copenhagen and Aarhus University, attract scholars from across the globe, while research institutions push the boundaries in science, medicine, and green technology. This investment in education underscores Denmark's commitment to preparing future generations for global challenges. Sports also have their place in Danish culture, with football being the most popular. The national team, Danish Dynamite, achieved global recognition when it won the European Championship in 1992, a triumph that remains a proud moment in the nation's sporting history. Handball is another sport where Denmark excels, consistently producing world-class players and securing international titles. Sailing and cycling, too, are deeply embedded in the national psyche, reflecting Denmark's geography and lifestyle. As the 21st century unfolds, Denmark continues to balance tradition and progress. It preserves its royal ceremonies, folk traditions, and historic landmarks, while also leading in digital innovation, sustainability, and inclusive governance. Danish cities consistently rank high in livability, with clean streets, efficient public transport, and an emphasis on green spaces. The sense of community is strong, with citizens actively participating in local decision-making and civic life. Denmark has also taken a strong stance on global issues, advocating for human rights, environmental protection, and international cooperation. Perhaps what is most surprising about Denmark is how it has managed to create a society where smallness is a strength rather than a limitation. Its modest size fosters closeness, trust, and a sense of responsibility, values that resonate through every aspect of life. Whether walking along cobblestone streets in enriches, exploring Viking burial grounds, or marveling at wind farms off the coast, one senses the deep connection between past and present, between people and land, between dreams and reality. To experience Denmark is to enter a world where fairy tales meet modernity, where history whispers through ancient stones, and where the future is embraced with courage and creativity. It is a nation that has endured losses and celebrated triumphs, that has raised thinkers, writers, and explorers who changed the course of human thought and imagination. From its Viking roots to its status as one of the most admired nations today, Denmark embodies resilience, innovation, and joy. Its history enriches its culture, its attractions captivate visitors. Its language carries the voices of genius, and its surprising facts remind us that greatness is not measured in size but in spirit. In every way, Denmark stands as a testament to how a small northern kingdom became a beacon of happiness, sustainability, and creativity for the world.